All right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all honor, praise, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Baruch HaKodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and salutations to the elect scattered abroad. All right, this is the brother Barbazal here with a lesson, and Lord willing, that's edifying. All right, so the title of this lesson will be "Woe to them that go down to Egypt for help." All right, and as we know, Egypt, in this context, all right, can be used as America. All right, as we know in the book of Revelation, all right, going into, I believe it's 8 and 11, going into, America or Babylon, being also known as Sodom and Egypt. All right, because we know that Babylon takes a lot of its, inspiration, right? Left-handed practices, things of that nature, they took from Egypt. All right, so this place is also, called Egypt according to the scriptures. All right. Isaiah 31 and 1. Woe to them that go down to Egypt for help. All right. And, as Esau, continues to take away, these different, slowly, right? These different government benefits, welfare, all right, government aid, all right. These people are going to be desperate, and continue to, pretty much put faith in this system, all right, that, in order for them to, get their lives back, all right, and all this will lead down to them, taking the MOTB. All right, now we've seen pretty much a trial run, with the whole C-19 situation, Esau taking away certain conveniences, all right, threatening to take away certain jobs, all right, for people to just go out and about and, do their day-to-day, for things to go back to normal, so to speak. Esau was, pretty much pressuring people to take, the juice. All right, now it's a statistic, I believe at least 80%, took the juice. You can, fact check that if I'm wrong, but, I do know that, it's most people actually took it. All right, so that just goes to show, what's going to happen when the MOTB comes to roll out, man, because during that time, all right, times will be way, way more drastic. Okay, you'll be an outcast of society. Esau will be willing to put you to death. All right, we're going to have full on, famine. All right, jobs being taken away. All right, different, UN troops and such. All right, so, all right, so, and these people are going to be willing to, take it during that time. All right, because they chose to trust in Egypt, and they're not built up, with the faith of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. So let's read it again. Isaiah 31 and 1. Woe to them that go down to Egypt for help and stay on horses and trust in chariots because they are many, and in horsemen because they are very strong, but they look not unto the Holy One of Israel, neither seek the Lord. So there you go. The number one thing that you're supposed to do is seek the Lord. All right, it's no amount of, doomsday prepping and, whatever weapons you may have. All right, it's going to be able to save you. You have to build up, a relationship with Yahweh Bashem Yahushai and have faith, right? But you have people that, scoff or scorn against the truth, right? Cling on to false idols, all right? Whatever the case may be, all right? And not the one true living power, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, all right? So when all hell breaks loose, hey, they gonna be willing to take that the MOTB. All right. Isaiah 33 and 6. And wisdom and knowledge should be the stability of thy times, and strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord is his treasure, and we fear the Lord. All right. Wisdom and knowledge being the stability of our time. So, while all this is going on, civil unrest, All right, Jacob's trouble, the climax of Jacob's trouble coming soon. All right, we'll be good because we have the wisdom and knowledge of the scriptures. The scriptures also say the just shall live by faith, and we're going to have faith that the Lord, will deliver us. We're being spiritually built up. In order for, Lord's will, the Lord can, put that hedge on us. All right. And we understand that, we have to, overcome till the end. You see? This is the book of Sirach 12:10. Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. And Esau being known as the devil. A devil, going into the word deceiver. We understand we cannot trust this man, all right, for anything. All right. His trusting in this man comes with him, pretty much betraying you, right? Making it look like he has good intention. All right, but we know, under that is more sinister. All right, and time again, throughout history, all right, you should know better than to trust this man Esau. All right. Let's get another precept. This is the book of Jeremiah 51, and we could start at 6. So it says, flee out of the midst of Babylon and deliver every man his soul. Be not cut off in her iniquity, for this is the time of the Lord's vengeance. He will render unto her a recompense. So exactly. So you can't put trust in the system, right? That's, bound to be destroyed. All right. The Lord ain't dealing with this place. All right. And the Lord is looking for men or elect, all right, that has certain, characteristics, all right, that'll put, their cares upon them, their burdens upon them, right? Their trust upon the Lord, all right, because we understand that, the Lord is coming to destroy this place and, deliver his elect out of it. Verse 7, Babylon hath been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad. Yeah. When Babylon is going to become the main target, of these different nations. All right. That's how, this place is going to get destroyed. All right. You're going to have several different nations, shoot, the ICBM thermonuclear missiles in Babylon, ultimately destroying this place. It says Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. How for her, take balm for her pain. If so be she may be healed. Yeah, kind of. You got, people, putting their trust in Trump, right? Saying America gonna be great again. Things of that nature. All right, but the Lord says Babylon shall not be healed. All right, now the system, was healed. In the revival of the Roman Empire, right, during the Renaissance period. All right, but, this place has been pretty much going on a downward spiral, man, and it won't be healed. All right, as said the scriptures. Verse 9, we would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her, and let us go everyone into his own country, for her judgment reaches unto heaven and is lifted up even to the skies. There you go. All right. So Babylon, this place will not be healed. This place is through. It's done. All right. And, if you have trusting in this system, you got to flee from that trust and cling on to the Lord. Going to the, the Israelites, right? Speaking to the Israelites, so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, because that's ultimately, who this truth is for, right? Who salvation is for. We understand that, the heathen nations cannot obtain salvation. All right. And let's get Revelation 13 and 15, because this is where, trusting in this man will lead to. This is the ultimate, his ultimate plan, right? To get everybody, the C-hip, right? The RFID C-hip, right? Implanted into your hand, right? Your forehead mainly, or really anywhere on your body. Okay, this is what'll lead. If you continue to trusting in this man's system, right? You're gonna take the C-hip, you're gonna take it. All right, and this Revelation 13-15, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as will not worship the image of the beast should be killed. Yeah. So those, who ain't gonna take it, Esau, he's gonna be looking to put those people to death. All right. Verse 16, and he causes all both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. All right. And we know that word mark goes into charagma, right? Going to a scratching, etching, right? Esau, he's going to be looking to put an implantable device in your body in order to track you, control you. All right. And ultimately, if you take that chip, you're pretty much, giving Esau power, saying that he's your God. All right. You're fully in line with this beast system. All right. And you ultimately made Esau your God. You see? And it's going to be mandatory for everybody to take it. All right. Verse 17, and that no man might buy or sell, save that he that had the mark of the name of the beast or the number of his name. So you're not going to be able to make any type of transactions. All right, buying, selling, trade, whatever the case may be. You're not going to be able to do that unless you get that C-hip. You're going to be an outcast to society. All right. But, that'll do it for the lesson. Lord willing, it was edifying. So with that, I'd like to give all honor, praise, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahushua, by Hashem, Barak HaKodash. Shalom.